Welcome to our weekly maritime video blog. I'm Corey Ransom with International Maritime Security Associates. This week, we're talking ice and snow in Antarctica. Since the majority of the United States on the East Coast and the southeastern coast of the United States is in a horrible deep freeze, there's a lot of snow and ice around today, January 18th of 2018, we thought it would be a great idea to talk about more snow and ice. On this blog, we always try to highlight different things that we think you, our viewers, would find fascinating that happen in the maritime industry. We talk about different events and highlight different things with the Coast Guard. We also try to highlight different events that we're involved in the large yacht industry and the cargo industry, and even into the cruise line industry. So we like to highlight different things that we think you would find fascinating from a maritime industry perspective of viewers. So one of the things that we ask you guys is to reach out to us if you have questions or there's topics that you would like to see us do a video. So don't hesitate to reach out to us through this YouTube channel, through our social media, or even directly by phone and email. We're happy to hear from you guys because we always want to continue to improve the quality of this video blog. So today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's the U.S. Coast Guard. Back on December 17th of 2017, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Polar Star left its home port in Seattle, Washington to head down for its annual Antarctic mission. It's a pretty cool mission that the Polar Star is involved in. The Polar Star and its sister ship, the Polar Sea, were commissioned in 1976. And these vessels, both of them basically identical, are 399 feet long and were originally two heavy icebreakers that did missions in different parts of the world. The primary mission was to keep the shipping lanes open in the summertime in the southern hemisphere, which is our wintertime here in the northern hemisphere, to keep the shipping lanes open so that resupply ships could get to the National Science Foundation's McMurdo Station. And that's what both of these vessels were really designed to do. Now, throughout their lives, these vessels have done a number of other missions. Back in 2006, I believe it was, the Polar Sea was decommissioned. So right now, the Polar Star, 41-year-old vessel, is the only heavy ice-breaking vessel that is part of the U.S. fleet. The Polar Star every year still carries out its primary mission to keep the shipping lanes open in McMurdo Station. And in the monitor behind me, we have called up a live shot of McMurdo Station. You can actually see that the Polar Star has arrived. We'll do a close-up of this so you can see it, but the Polar Star is actually docked right now at McMurdo Station. They were doing ice-breaking operations in and around the channel yesterday. We were watching it yesterday afternoon, so it was pretty cool to see. But they are a vital link to get supplies to McMurdo Station. McMurdo Station is one of the largest stations on South Pole or Antarctica. It is run by the National Science Foundation, one of 3 stations down there that is run by the National Science Foundation. And as we did research into this, there's some fascinating statistics as far as McMurdo Station that I didn't know. During the summertime, so this time of the year, summertime in the Southern Hemisphere, there's over 1,000 people that are working on that station. This station is also the main supply point for the Amundsen Scott Station, which is on the South Pole, or basically the southern tip of Antarctica. From a time difference, it's pretty interesting that McMurdo Station is 18 hours ahead of our time here on the East Coast of the United States. So they have a really cool website where you can take a look at the live cams. We'll put a link to that in this video blog. We'll also put a link to the Coast Guard Polar Star. It's a really cool ship. and very unique to the Coast Guard. I never had the opportunity to be on board Polar Sea or Polar Star, and that was more along the lines as I just don't like cold weather, and I didn't want to be on board a vessel that spent most of its time in cold weather, so I never had the opportunity or really the desire to sail on the vessels. But the men and women who do that job, it's a very grueling job. That cutter gets underway longer than any other cutter in the Coast Guard fleet. So the men and women and the scientists who are part of the Polar Star spend a lot of time at sea. We pulled down some statistics that I didn't know about the Polar Star that we thought would be interesting for you guys. So as we mentioned, it's 399 feet long. At the thickest points of the hull, where it's used for ice breaking, it's over 1.75 inches thick. The Polar Star can break 6 feet of ice doing 3 knots. So obviously if the ice is thicker, they slow down or move very slow to break up thicker ice. The vessel has a range and an average speed of 13 knots of over 28,000 miles. That's fascinating. The crew consists of 15 officers, 127 enlisted people, and roughly 33 scientists that they bring on board to study oceanography, meteorology, volcanology, and I find that really fascinating that this is a really unique mission for the Coast Guard, supporting the National Science Foundation for ocean and atmospheric research. There are also 12 additional people that are brought on board because the cutter has 2 helicopters that it brings on board. So there's a 12-person helicopter detachment that comes on board the Polar Star. So we just wanted to say thank you to the men and women, commanding officer, the officers and crew and scientists, and the people who are working on the Polar Star to keep those shipping lanes open. We really appreciate the job you do. Make sure you guys continue to tune in. We're going to have some exciting episodes coming up this year on different topics. And as I said at the beginning, make sure you reach out to us if there's a topic that you would like us to cover. Hey, thanks for joining us this week. We really appreciate all of our viewers. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get notified when we post new videos. Also, we invite you to connect to us on our social media, detailed in the banner above and also in the comments section below. And make sure you hit that like button for all the videos you like and pass it along to your friends. We've got a lot of great information on this channel. If there's anything that we can do for you as a company when it comes to maritime risk management, maritime security, or maritime compliance, please don't hesitate to reach out to us because we're always happy to steer you in the right direction.